Hello and good morning, you guys. Today is Saturday, May 31st, and it's currently like almost 5:40 a.m. Brian and I are headed out to the airport. We're gonna be in Sacramento for, I think, under 24 hours. But my friend from like when I was like, I think I met her maybe when I was like 7 or 8. She's getting married today. So I'm super excited. We're gonna head out shortly. We have a dog sitter coming, so we try to do as much as possible over the last few days so that it's like the house is nice for her. I just changed out all of our sheets. We packed last night, so we're pretty much good to go. I just finished walking P. We're just gonna see what we get up to this weekend. We'll be home tomorrow by like 9 a.m.-ish or something like that. Maybe 10. I think our flight lands around 9 a.m. But we'll be home by 10, which is crazy to think about. We're gonna start heading out, packing up the car right now and going to the airport. We're just gonna drive there and park because it's actually cheaper than like an Uber or a Lyft. Let's start heading out and go to Sacramento.
It's like we're A2.
We made it. We made it on our flight and I got a window seat. There's nobody sitting next to us. I'm gonna read on the flight. I'm gonna try to maybe finish my book. We'll see, but I think the flight's only gonna be like an hour, even though it was originally supposed to be an hour and a half. So we'll see, but we're heading off. I'm so tired. I feel kind of delirious and I just need some coffee. Look at that bridge. Wow, it is like a perfectly clear day too. We've made it to Sacramento waterfront. I had looked it up online and it said like if you have like one thing to do, like this is the area to be in. So we're gonna just go for it. We're gonna quickly change because it's hot. It's already 80 degrees and it's supposed to be 102 today. So let's change and then we'll see what Sacramento waterfront is. I think there's some like bridges and some trains. It's kind of fun that like everything is just opening. You know, like we can kind of see it when it's not all like, when it's not all busy, I guess is what I mean. There's like a line over there. This big train. Like, does it go somewhere or do you just like take a lap or like, is it just for funsies that it's on? I wonder where it goes. An art cafe. Yeah, little art cafe right here. Wow, just the buildings themselves are just so pretty. Oh look, this is to recycle. Aluminum cans and bottles. Oh, you can kind of see the buildings a little bit better now because I'm in the shade. Let's go see the waterfront. Perfect. What's that build? Look, that looks like Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's the bridge.
Oh, yeah. So we're gonna walk to this waterfront and see what it is. I don't know what it is. Brian really loves like trains, bridges, anything engineering related. That's like a Ryan thing. So when I was like looking up really fast online and I was like, what are the top things to do if you have like limited time in Sacramento? And it was like the waterfront and it has bridges, trains, and boats. I was like, God. Ryan's gonna love it.
Basic
and a museum.
Boy. Basic boy.
Yeah, basic boy. A museum, count him in. He'll read every sign. Wow, oh, it's so pretty.
I wonder what that catwalk is for.
Yeah, good question. Okay, what do we want to do? Do we want to just like chill somewhere or? We did the waterfront. I'm looking up right now other things to do because it's only 10:15 a.m. and we don't have check-in at our Airbnb until 3 p.m. We're thinking we'll eat maybe around like 11:30 a.m. Oh my gosh, it's all the slingshots. These guys have these slingshots. Can you see them in my background? Oh my god, this is crazy. Art Museum, State Capitol and Capitol Park, Coffee Roasters, Downtown Commons, which has shops.
Let's go to Capitol Park. I think it's like a big large park and it's gonna be in our downtown. So.
Okay, all right, so we're gonna go to Capitol Park. We're thinking about eating around, oh, I spelled capital with an A. Yeah, we're gonna probably eat around 11:30 or so because I'm pretty hungry, but Ryan's not yet. But we don't want to eat too late because then we won't be hungry at the wedding. Gonna opt for something around that time frame. So for now, let's just go off and see what this park has to offer. Maybe we'll try to stop off somewhere for like coffee or like even a nap. That could be kind of nice. All right, 8 minutes. All right, I put on a hat and sunglasses this time. This car that we got, that like our rental car, is so manual that I keep freaking out thinking that I've locked the keys in the car, and then I like triple check and I'm like checking and checking and checking. I'm not usually like a checker.
You gotta wonder how people survived before 1980, huh?
Literally.
No remote unlock?
No remote unlock. No crank windows.
That's an engine?
No cell phones.
Gas-powered engine?
But we ended up at Capitol Park. It looks really pretty. It's really pretty like little walkway here, and the Capitol is obviously right here, which I don't remember the last time I've been to.
You like your libraries, you like books, no?
Oh my god, it's a huge library. California State Library. Maybe we'll go to the library, but for right now, we're here. It looks like they're doing something, like an event or something here, but we're gonna just like, while it's cool enough to walk around, we're gonna walk around. And then once it heats up, we're gonna like go plant ourselves somewhere until we can start to drive to our Airbnb. That's the plan for now. See what we find. There is the state capitol. Is this your first time seeing the state capitol?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Okay, we're gonna, there's the park is right here, but there's a Starbucks right here, so we're just gonna pop over to Starbucks and just get something because we're so tired. Okay, this Starbucks is like really nice. There's like this little bar and there's like bar seating, like all of this bar seating here too. So we are just popping here for a little bit. I'm like so tempted to just like lay on one of the cushions and fall asleep. All right, there's a lot of construction happening, but we just got done with Starbucks. We're gonna loop around, and then where did we say we were gonna go after this?
Lunch?
Oh yeah, we're gonna try to find a lunch place. I don't know what we're gonna have for lunch. Both of us are kind of just like in that like we could eat anything kind of vibe, so maybe we just drive around and like see what we see. But I think we really needed the coffee. I think because we got a chance to like sit in Starbucks, I feel like my body feels cooler. I don't know how else to explain that. Let's go walk around and then head back to the car. Our parking expires in like 20 minutes, so just continuing to like stretch our legs a little bit. All right, we ended up at this place called Cafeteria. I don't know if it's like a sit down or like a restaurant or like a buffet, I don't know, but yeah, let's do an hour and a half. We're gonna grab lunch, get some AC, and I think after that maybe we'll go to the we'll see what time it is, but hopefully we'll be able to go to the Airbnb. Okay, we've landed at our Airbnb. Our host actually let us come early. It's 1:15 right now, but our check-in was originally at 3. She turned on the AC for us, which is so nice. This is a cute little place. It's small, but it's really all we needed, and it was cheap, so we love it. And then the bathroom is in another little area, so I think we're gonna try to rest a little bit because we were up at like, well, I've been up since 4:30, but we've been up since like 5, and we're both very tired, so it's time for a nap. I just took a nap and I'm back awake. Ryan ended up going to take his shower first. We're taking quick showers. I'm just gonna take like a body shower because this morning I did my hair so that I could just like be done with it. I just went to the bathroom to like scope out everything that our host has available for us. She has like a curling iron, like this host is so truly amazing. Like if you're ever looking for a place in Sacramento, I know the actual like Airbnb is small, but it's so reasonably priced. And also she put a note up here, but they don't make you do any of the cleaning, which I feel like is like one of those things that Airbnb is like so notorious for, is like you stay in a place and then it'll be like a $250 cleaning fee, and then they also like make you run the laundry or something. It's kind of crazy, but it literally says no pickup necessary, which is so nice. She has like curling irons, blow dryers, shampoo, conditioner, shower caps, toothbrushes, like everything that you could ever want, like above and beyond stuff. She also stocked this whole fridge because it says there's like another little note. There's so many little notes everywhere, but there's a little note on it that says that the nearest grocery store is 5 miles away. So just in case, to make you comfortable, she like stocked it with some snacks, which is just so nice. Speaking of, I'm going to actually have some water because I feel like I just haven't had enough water today. Doesn't taste the best because it's like from the park water fountain. But I'm so excited too because P's dog sitter has been sending so many pictures, like clearly enjoying himself. Can you guys even see that? How cute. clearly enjoying himself. She keeps sending more photos, like he was playing with his toy here, and it always just makes me happy because he can be kind of like, I don't know, he's just kind of a weird picky dog, so it makes me happy when I see that he's getting along with people. Anyway, I'm just still waking up, so I think I'm going to get a few things together. I laid out both of my dresses. They're kind of similar colored, but I wanted to lay them both out so that I could like let them de-wrinkle a tiny bit. Oh, and I finished my book. I meant to tell you guys about it. I finished How to Hide in Plain Sight. I'm giving it 5 stars. I'll tell you guys more about all of the books that I read this month when I get home tomorrow. I loved this book. Basically, you get a then and now perspective of this person's life, and you are trying to figure out what happened in this like one particular summer on this one particular day that like caused her to not talk to anybody in her life for the last 3 years. So really, it's just this story that has this then and now perspective, but also has a lot to do with OCD. So if you're ever interested in learning more about OCD, obviously not everyone experiences the exact same kind as her or to the degree that she does, but I think that it is really, really good at describing what OCD is like. Like truly, it was even insightful for me to like better understand my own OCD, and being able to like see it plainly written out was just like so interesting to me. Also has a perfect little romance in there that I think is like so good. A perfect like weird, interesting, kind of chaotic family dynamic. Like it really had everything that I could ever ask for or ever want in a book, and I was obsessed with it. I think that like you have to not be expecting obviously just a romance going into this, which I think is why sometimes it just doesn't get higher ratings, but it was seriously so amazing. I finished it so quickly, and every time I was not reading it, I was thinking about it, and I know that these characters are just gonna stick with me. I love the way that it ended. I love the support that Manuel gives to our main character, and just like, I don't know, everything. Elliot is just like one of my favorite book people at this point. So yeah, gave it 5 stars. I really loved it, and I'm excited to talk to you guys more about all of the other books that I've read, but those are those thoughts. So anyway, I'm going to get a couple of things together so I can go shower after Ryan's done. It's almost 4 o'clock right now, and we're gonna aim to be out of here by about 4:25 so we can be there by 4:45. So let's go get ready for the wedding. I'm so glad that our Airbnb host let us check in early because I was so tired, and I think without that nap we would be struggling right now. Thank God we got a chance to relax in here. Okay, we're running out of here. I just put my sunglasses on my head, but I curled my hair a little bit, and I chose this dress because the other one was like super warm. So let's go to the wedding. Tired, you guys, but we've made it. I'm just actually packing up my bag, or like a majority of my bag. We're heading out early again tomorrow. I think we're gonna be waking up around 8 a.m. What, 5 a.m.? It's gonna be an early rise, but the wedding itself was so much fun. We had a blast. We ended up leaving around like 9:45, and the actual wedding ended at 10, so we didn't miss a whole lot, but because we have to wake up so early, we just wanted to make sure that we were like, you know, obviously getting back to the Airbnb in a decent hour. So now we're just kind of packing everything up, making sure that everything's like pretty tidy so that we don't have to like rush in the morning. Honestly, I think I'm pretty good. I have all of my things in here, and I set out my clothes that I'm gonna be wearing tomorrow. In the morning, I can just access this bag whenever I have to, which is likely what I will do. I did end up overpacking a tad, but I'm really glad that I brought that second dress because I would have been so bummed if I didn't have it. Honestly, truly so grateful. It ended up being really hot. It was probably about 100 degrees at the very beginning of the ceremony. Everything ended up being like shaded, and then by the time like the dancing started and stuff, it was like 86 or something along those lines. So it wasn't terrible. There was no service, but in a way that was kind of nice because nobody was really distracted, and because there were camera people, everyone just kind of like put their phones down, and they just had so many fun like little tiny many things that they did around the wedding. Like, for example, in order to like get your food, you had to answer trivia questions. And so like they would go and like see which table could answer the question, and then that table got to go for the food. What was the other thing that they did? Oh, and then also at the very beginning when my friend first walked down the aisle, once she got down to the aisle, they gave everyone 60 seconds to run up and take a selfie. And then after that, they wanted no cell phones at the ceremony, which was so cool. So just in general, it was such a fun time. And I loved like all the little things that they did, seeing so many people, seeing my friend's mom, who I haven't seen in so long. I went up to like go say hi to her, and at first she didn't recognize me. And I was like, I've known you since I was like 7 years old or something like that. And yeah, it was crazy. So that's a wrap on Sacramento. Honestly, I feel like we really enjoyed Sacramento. It was just really hot, but the place itself, like the property and like how open things are, even like the downtown area, like some areas were a little not as nice as others, but like that's downtown for you anywhere. It was just like really fun to like explore something new. So I think we really enjoyed it. It is time to head off to bed. So I'm gonna go set my alarm. I'm gonna start heading off to bed. Ryan is in the shower. I just showered as well. And I will see you guys in the morning. I look tired. Jeez. What time is it? It's
too early.
Yeah, way too early. 5:34 right now. We're just packing up, finishing packing up. We got all the stuff ready to go. Ryan took his shower and we're gonna go to the rental car place and then to the airport, and we have an early flight. So we should be home by like 9 a.m., which is crazy. It's fantastic, but it's just wild that we're spending less than 24 hours here. So all we have to say is thank you to our Airbnb host for letting us come in early, because truly that changed the whole trip, because otherwise we would have been so miserable last night. We're going to pack up or finish packing up now and head out. I think it's like a 40-minute drive. So I don't know. That's it. That's all I have, I guess. I'll see you guys at the airport. Alright, it's already like 1:15. Ryan and I actually got home around like, what time did we get home? 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. And then we were both pretty tired, so I ended up just passing out. I needed to get my shoes. I fell asleep on the couch, he fell asleep in the bedroom, and now we're both awake. We played a round of our video game, and now we're gonna go grab some food. That's kind of all we have for the rest of the day, probably. We're just gonna take it easy since we had such like a lot of stuff happening the rest of the weekend. Can't even think straight. Let's go get some food, and maybe when we get back, now that I'm actually awake, we'll do something different or like read or something. I don't really know. It's a bit later now. We went to go get our food and now we're back home. We ended up getting Taco Bell because we were just feeling lazy, and like I need to go get groceries in particular. I'm just remembering I just went to Trader Joe's like on Friday. So actually I have some groceries. I specifically did that so that future me would be happy that I like had things ready to go. Anyway, I forgot completely that I had done that. So now, whatever, it doesn't matter. But point being, we're back now. We ate, we're running literally like dishwasher, washing machine, like everything right now. So if it's a little loud, I apologize, but we need to do all of like the Sunday chores still, but it's only 2:30 right now. It feels really nice. Like originally it was kind of tough that we left so early in the morning. I think for right now, I'm going to read for a little bit. When we were on the plane, I had read all of the synopses for Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. So now I can actually get into Onyx Storm, which I'm very excited about because I've been putting it off since like January. So I think I'm gonna start that. And then later, once like all of the noise is gone, we'll go over in my notebook all of the books that we read this month. We'll do that in a bit, but for now, I'm just gonna continue to be a little bit lazy and read for a little bit. Hello you guys, it is a couple days later and I'm so sorry, but I never updated you guys after I said that I was going to, because I was so tired on Sunday, like truly so tired. I'm actually so bummed because I was looking at my friends' stories on Instagram and just like all of the things that other people posted about the wedding, and like I told you guys earlier in this vlog, we had left around like 9:45 and the wedding ended at 10, so we were like, oh, we're not gonna miss anything. Like we literally saw everything, except we didn't see the send-off. And normally like every other wedding that we've been to, the send-off is like there's no real send-off, but they actually did a send-off and they did this like cute thing where everyone blows bubbles and they like walk down and do all these spins, and I was sad that I missed it. But honestly, the rest of the wedding was just so much fun. Like I'm still riding a high of like how fun it was and like what a wonderful time it was to just like get out and do something for the weekend only. Like I didn't take any time off of work, which sounds like a lot, and it was a lot, but Ryan and I just keep thinking back and we're like, that reminds us to like just go out and do something, even if we have to be like a weekend warrior about it. Like sometimes that sucks, but it's still so fun to like, I don't know, just do something a little bit different, go see a new city that we haven't really seen. Ryan has literally never spent time in Sacramento. The only other time he's been there was when we flew in, I think last year, for his cousin's wedding, and his brother picked us up immediately from the airport and we went straight off to like, I forget where that wedding was, but it was also not in Sacramento, but that was just like the closest airport. So he'd never seen the Capitol or anything like that. And this particular friend I used to spend some time in the summers with, so I have seen Sacramento, but it's literally been so long. It was just really fun. Now that we are a little bit more well rested, I wanted to tell you guys all about the books that I read. So I have all of my thoughts and everything in here. Don't read it if you don't want any spoiler. I don't even know if you can read that far, but in case it's clear on the video, I don't want you guys to get any spoilers. So I'm gonna quickly go through each of these things. I do have a video coming out soon with some thoughts on particular books, so those ones I'll keep a little bit shorter, but otherwise I'll just kind of talk to you guys about all of the books that I read. In May, I read 7 books. 3 of them were audiobooks, and then 1 of them was a graphic novel. So I read 3 like physical, like actual novels, if that makes sense. So I'll just start from the beginning. I read Catching Fire and Mockingjay, which I each gave 5 stars. I think between Catching Fire and Mockingjay, I had forgotten so much about what happened in like the 2nd and 3rd books and like what happened in book 2 versus book 3. And I was really excited to reread these books before I go into the new books. And I'm just like super thrilled to go into the new books now. I wanted to reread like how the revolution started and what the outcome was, all of the decisions that our characters made. And I also rewatched all of the movies, and I think the movies just do such a good job in comparison to the books. Like it's almost verbatim everything that happens and everything that they do, and anything that they changed felt like a plus that they changed. So I really enjoyed both of these. I'm just super excited to get into the new books. I rated these 5 stars because I think since I knew what was going to happen, it was hard because I already knew what was gonna happen. So I didn't feel as like thrilled or like I wanted to pick them up. But I remember distinctly when I was younger reading these and just eating them up, being so excited when they were releasing, like going to the premieres, all of the stuff, and just loving these books in the series. So I wanted to just give that feeling back to these books and like rate them 5 stars because they were absolutely 5 stars when I read them in like high school. So I think they really deserved that. I was shocked. I don't know why I'm so shocked. Like I totally forgot this part, but I was so shocked that Katniss ended up with Peeta. And I don't know like why when I was younger, I was very much like a Peeta fan. And as I was reading it the second time around, I was more of like a Gale fan. Like he was always there for her. He always took care of things for her when she was away, like the whole thing. And I was shocked that she ended up choosing Peeta. It just kept feeling like she felt like she owed something to Peeta, or like she was supposed to be with Peeta. But Gale is who like made more sense. But I don't know if she just saw him as a brother the whole time or what, but she did kiss him at a point, so I don't know. That honestly like sort of shocked me, and I just didn't feel the romances as much this time around for some reason. Like again, when I first read these in high school, I definitely felt like this love triangle existing, and this time I was like, that was kind of all in my head. Like they're just not actually that into each other, surprisingly. So it was very interesting. I know that came mostly from Katniss' side. Both boys were very into her, but it was just, yeah, that dynamic was a little different. So anyway, rated them both 5 stars. And then the next book that I read was Fearless, which I was so excited to get into this one. I rated it 4 stars. I wrote in my journal and I said the buildup for this book was definitely there for me, and there was so much good, but so much I wish was different. Oh, I don't want to give this spoiler actually, but there was something that we learned and it was so crazy, but I almost felt like the reveal and some others happened multiple times. So then they had these like aha moments, but I didn't feel like the aha moment was like weighted as heavily as it could have been, because they had alluded to, or there were other chapters that explicitly said the aha moment already. So when the character had the moment, you were like, okay, that's nice, like we already knew that. So there was that element to it. One of our characters turns out to be somebody like completely opposite of who we think he actually is, and that also really shocked me. Like I don't know why, but I just felt like he was so much more selfish in the long run, and I didn't love that character development a whole lot. Like, I felt like it took us in a totally different direction for that character, and it felt very out of character for him. So that was interesting, and just like learning all of the dynamics between our characters. Obviously in this book, you know who's gonna end up together, but it's more of like how we get there and what happens along the way that's super fascinating. So that's ultimately what I really liked. Overall, I think that with this whole series, I'm actually very excited because there's supposed to be another novella coming out, but with the whole series, I loved the series a lot, but I especially loved the first book. I think that the first book was not as good as it was. I probably would not have been as excited to read book 2 or 3, but because of how good it was, I stuck it out and like wanted to know how the rest of it ended. So I think that book 1 really carried the series, and I think a lot of people feel the same, but I am excited that I like now know the whole story and like how everything ends, and I think overall I liked it. The series itself is probably not a 5-star series, it's probably more like a 4-star series for me, but also it's so hard because like book 2, for example, was definitely not my favorite book in the whole series, and I feel like for a series to be a 5-star series, I've said series so many times, but I feel like then every single book needs to be close to 5-star at minimum. So those are my thoughts on that one. And after that, I read another one of my most anticipated books, which was Great Big Beautiful Life, and I gave that one 4 stars. I feel like it was crazy that this one was one of my first non 5-star Emily Henry books, but I just didn't get like the 5-star feeling from the book. I did love this book though. I just don't feel like it will necessarily stick with me as much as other books have by Emily Henry. I really liked the dynamic of, we had a little bit of romance and we also had this like interview style where we're like trying to figure out something, and we're like, we don't even really know what that something is yet, just like something about this person's life. I felt like the ending was a bit rushed though, and overall I think that the aha moments in this book were very good. I was honestly so shocked by what I learned. I actually thought I spoiled it for myself, but then it turned out that I didn't spoil it for myself, but then something else happened, and so I think what happened is that like I was so dead set on like, oh, this is what's gonna happen next, that I didn't even see this other thing happening. So then when I discovered it, I was like, oh my god, this is crazy. So I really liked the twist at the end. I don't think that this book was marketed very well though, because it at some points said that it was a romance. There's a point where like literally Emily Henry and Reese Witherspoon are talking because it's part of Reese's book club, and they're talking about how it's like a murder mystery. There's like a piece of murder at the very beginning that was in like 2 sentences, and that was it. So this is certainly not a murder mystery, but I did think that it was really good. So overall, 4 stars. The next one that I read was Secret Life, and this one I gave 5 stars. It's this graphic novel that's just like really weird and eerie, and I honestly didn't know how to rate it, but I just thought about all of the graphic novels that I've read, which are not many, and I decided to like tier it based off of the graphic novels, not based off of like a story maybe told in like another type of format. And I decided that I was going to give this one 5 stars because the art was just so beautiful, so intricate, so detailed, and like all of the line work was so beautiful. The story itself was just kind of weird. It was basically about this weird building that like people work out of, and just all these like weird things happen at this like workplace. And in a weird way, like the synopsis almost sounded like Severance, but like not Severance in the sense of like actually being 2 separate beings, but just that like you go into this building and like weird things are happening. Like on the 5th floor, it's completely banned, like nobody can go there unless you've been like pre-approved, and then like this weird cult stuff is happening in there, like just weird eerie things all over the building. So honestly, like it just was weird and kind of a trip, and I read it in literally 2 sittings, and I probably could have read it in 1. It was just so fast-paced, and I really liked it, so I gave it 5 stars. The next one that I read, I'm gonna go out of order for a second, but the next one that I read was Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez, and I gave this one 3 stars. I think honestly I could almost bring it down a notch to 2 stars. I just didn't love this book. Normally I really like Abby Jimenez. I feel like I gave it 3 stars because I still really love her writing and like her writing style and the way that she traps you in and like makes you care about the characters, but I just feel like the story, you had this element of romance that was super insta-lovey, and then you also had like this family dynamic and our main character's mom who was sick and like that dynamic, and I feel like each of like the pieces, like the family was distracting from the romance element and the romance element was distracting from the family element, and I just don't feel like the 2 things were like joined well enough. For that reason, didn't love this story. I don't know, I honestly think it was a little bit forgettable and I don't think it was her best, but I would be intrigued to like learn a little bit more about her family, or truly it's been enough days that I don't even remember how it fully ends. That's how little I remember or like retained of this story, which is sad because I normally really like Abby Jimenez, but this one kind of fell through for me. And then last but not least, How to Hide in Plain Sight, I gave 5 stars. I've already talked pretty heavily in this video about the book, but I just wanted to reiterate how much I loved it. I really feel like not to like talk more about the things that I've already said, but more so than anything, I think that these characters are going to stick with me for a very long time. I feel like these people felt very real, and just like their stories and everything that they went through was just so real and so raw, and I just loved every second of it. The writing was fantastic in this book, so overall I think that this one was such a good one, especially if you're interested in learning more about what it may be like for some people with OCD, because it was insightful for me for sure. Those are all the books that I read, and with that, that's also all I have for this video. So thank you guys for spending the weekend with me in Sacramento, going to my friend's wedding, and obviously talking about some books. It was a very exhausting weekend and it took me a couple of days to fully recover, but we're here now. So thank you again for being here and just existing on my channel with me. It's been so fun to just make videos with you guys and just talk about life in general. So if you guys have made it to this point in the video and you're not subscribed already, please consider subscribing. It really helps me out. Again, that is all I have. So thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.